this old school. I apologize.
And the crowd gathers. Look at this.
Unless anybody has a micro HDMI cable.
No, sorry.
No.
I will provide.
So here we are, Blackberry Playbook. I'm gonna just kind of quickly walk through it. I'll talk a little bit about the device, walk quickly through some of the software stuff. Then if you guys have any questions, let me know. One thing I do want to say is we will have these all out at display in the Blackberry booth tomorrow, so come by, you'll be able to get hands-on with it, spend some time with it. The team will be around, so we'll be able to answer any other questions that you may not get answered tonight. So first of all, this is it. It does exist in reality, not just behind plastic. What I want to tell you guys about the physical design. So, less than a centimeter thick. So very small, 7-inch LCD, 1024 by 600. Overall, it's about 9.5 inches diagonally. We went with the 16 by 9 aspect ratio because we really wanted to be about media consumption. So we wanted a great device for watching video on, for being able, well, because the cameras capture 1080p video, we want you to be able to play that back and have it look great. A little bit more about the hardware side. So it is a very small device. We went with soft touch finish on the device. We wanted something that was approachable, easy to handle, not worry about carrying it with one hand, toss it in your pocket, toss it in your purse. In terms of physical characteristics, we do have 2 cameras on the device, 3 megapixel front facing, 5 megapixel rear. Both are capable of capturing 1080p video. So if you want to shoot the kids, shoot your mom, shoot whoever in high def, you can do that. We then have the micro HDMI, which is why I was looking for the cable, to be able to output any content or mirror the UI out onto the screen. That HDMI link is HDCP content protected, so if you've downloaded any protected content from any of our content partners, you're able to go ahead and output that onto the big screen as well in high def. So don't have to worry about standard definition output or anything like that. In terms of buttons, we've tried to keep it fairly simple. So all we've got on the top, play, pause, volume controls, and a power button, and that's it for controls on the device. So because we've eliminated menu buttons, home buttons, face buttons, we've done something a little bit different with the UI. So let me just launch a couple of apps here. The calculator, because it's fairly ubiquitous. One thing I do have to apologize, 2 things. Beta software, number 1, so if it hangs, blows up, catches fire, you'll know why. The other thing is, unfortunately, the Wi-Fi in here is absolutely terrible, so I can't show you the web. If you guys want to see flash integration, a bunch of great HTML5 stuff, please come by the booth. We'll be able to show you that tomorrow. Unfortunately, I just can't do it here tonight with what we've got to work with. So as you can see, I've got a couple of apps open. I'm going to open a couple more. Let's see, maybe open the camera. The ebooks. So this is my ebook library. Please don't hold it against me. A couple things. So this is our browser. This is just a default page showing some of the recent links. So as I was opening applications, I was swiping in from the bezel. So what we've done on the hardware side is actually extend the touch screen beyond the viewable area of the LCD. So you get 2 different types of gestures on the device. When you're interacting with the app, you get, as you'd expect, pitch to zoom, scrolling, that kind of stuff. But if you move on to the frame or the bezel, you get a whole different set of application or different gestures and system activities. So, for example, if I swipe up from the bottom, I minimize the app and I go back to the home screen. If I'm in the application and I swipe from the top down, I access a menu. So rather than clutter the UI with a lot of unnecessary icons, we really wanted to move that stuff on screen to take advantage of the real estate. Another thing is, because it is a true multitasking OS, we've got a 1 gigahertz dual-core Cortex A9 in here, and 1 gig of RAM, so we're running multiple applications simultaneously for real. We're not suspending things in the background. They are all running and processing at the same time. What it allows me to do is actually swap back and forth between the open apps if I swipe in from the bezel on either side. And that's the camera, which is facing the front. Let's switch it so we can show you guys. All very meta right now in the way we're doing this.
720?
1080.
1080?
Yeah, both will capture 1080p. So 1920 by 1080. 3 megapixel for stills. TBD, quite frankly. I don't actually know the answer to your question, but it is a very valid one. There we go. The rest of the UI, pretty much what you're kind of used to with BlackBerry 6. So we've got the different views of your icons, being able to scroll back and forth across them. I wish I could show you the browser, but I can't in here. Browse to YouTube, I'll show you a video, browse to Vimeo, bunch of different stuff.
Can you see it on the floor? Browser?
Yes, absolutely. We will have it ready to go on the floor. They've been working diligently to get the Wi-Fi up and running. Calling this Blackberry Playbook. A couple of the questions that come up pretty quickly. Memory configuration, 16, 32, 64 gig. So fixed memory, no SD expansion. It is a closed system. Price and availability, Q1, availability and price will be competitive. So not giving out all the details just yet, but that's where we're at. Short of me running randomly through a bunch of apps, what do you guys want to know about?
So no radios?
So it is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth device, right. So no cellular radios.
Right.
Obviously Wi-Fi ABGN, so with 5 gigahertz and 2.4. On the Bluetooth connection, we've done something special with your BlackBerry. So when you're paired with the BlackBerry, it creates a secure connection between the two devices and actually allows for two types of connectivity. One is you can use your BlackBerry as a tethered modem, so for 3G connectivity when Wi-Fi is not available, so basically standard tethering over Bluetooth. And the other is you have large screen access to your BlackBerry content, so your email, calendar, contacts, tasks, notes, BlackBerry Messenger are all actually shown up here on the big screen.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you get your BlackBerry on your hip, you don't have to take it out of your pocket. In real time, you're seeing what's happening on your BlackBerry, you're getting notifications of new email, you're able to see it on the large screen.
So that's your BlackBerry OS running instead of its own native OS?
No, this is its own OS.
What happens when it's feeding off the BlackBerry?
No, we're just streaming the data from your BlackBerry. The BlackBerry is doing its thing back to the network. This is just talking back to the BlackBerry.
But did you also say that you can also see your BlackBerry applications on a separate desktop?
We're showing you the content from your BlackBerry applications in a window of
so you can't run your BlackBerry on this?
So depends how you define that. So what we're doing is when you're paired to your BlackBerry, you now have access to a Messages app, a Calendar app, a BlackBerry Messenger, Tasks and Notes, which are actually the content from the applications on your BlackBerry.
But running on its own OS.
But it's running on this OS, rendered for this display and this resolution.
Right.
So you're not just looking at a blown up version of the BlackBerry display, you are actually looking at the content rendered for this larger display.
Right.
And by the same way, you can download the attachments from your mail, edit them on here, reattach them, send them out.
The battery's going to run out soon.
So the application ecosystem is a very valid question. Obviously, we know that application development is pretty key. So there's a couple of things we're doing. One is we've already opened up Apple for submissions for the Playbook. We've released an Adobe Air SDK. So beta 2 of that is out now. We've seen pretty good submissions so far. This will also support HTML5 applications through our WebWorks SDK. And then we also have a native SDK for applications that require deeper integration into the system. Having said that, the interesting thing about the BlackBerry Tablet OS and how we're doing this is the QNX architecture allows us to plug in different application environments on top. So while right now we've got HTML5 and Adobe Air and then the native thing kind of sitting off to the side, we can go ahead and plug in a Java virtual machine application environment to have Java apps running on the device as well. And we will be doing that as we go forward. So I realize apps are very core to the story, and yeah, the application or the developer responsibility is strong. Can I read a book on it? Absolutely. So one of the things I will say about the books, again, my books, so don't take it personally. What we aren't showing here today is the UI. This is strictly landscape right now. It will support portrait mode as well. We just don't have it enabled in these builds.
Did you say it's going to be available in Q1, or you're going to announce availability?
No, it will be available in Q1.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's the weight? It's about 400 grams, so just under a pound. And because this is demo without a net, I seem to have locked up the application.
Thank you.
Is this paired to your BlackBerry right now?
No, it's not, but if you want to come by the booth tomorrow, we'll have them paired, show you how that interaction works, and ready to go.